All right, so technical issues are resolved. Good afternoon, everyone. My name is John Nerrill. I help professionals who are ambitious about their careers create their next advancement opportunity. Today is show number 78. It's called Putting Your Career in the Fast Lane. And we are talking about why you want to put your career in the fast lane and what that actually looks like for you. So, if you've been here before, thanks so much for joining. If you're new, it is great to welcome you here. I do host a weekly Facebook Live show, and all of these are archived and housed on my website at johnnerrill.com, as well as my YouTube channel. But if you do happen to go over to my website, you will see that there is a free offer there at johnnerrill.com/free. It is 3 steps to creating your next advancement opportunity without feeling overwhelmed. It is an e-workbook designed to help you listen, lean in, and step forward as you create whatever is next for your career. So you'll simply fill out the form. It puts you into my email community where I email everyone 3 times a week about a different leadership and career topic. And it also lets you get notified about these Facebook Lives, and you do get the e-workbook as I just hit the camera. I'm not doing really well today, but we're going to go through and just make this happen. So as you are joining, feel free to post any questions or comments in the chats. I'll be happy to answer them as we go through today. And so as we get started, I wanted to begin because my day started very early at a middle school career day. And as a former middle school mathematics teacher, I had attended plenty of career days in my career, but always as the teacher in welcoming people to come in and share different stories about their career. But I went in today to share what it is like to be a career coach, but also what it means to be a business owner and a solopreneur and what that looks like. And what I was really impressed with the school, so it was Lanier Middle School in Fairfax, Virginia, and every student had a set of scripted questions that somebody could ask in order to keep the conversation going and help them get the information they needed. But it was questions like, what's your typical day like? And do you get to work inside or outside? And what's the biggest thing that you love about your job? And what's the thing that you don't like about your job? And do you make enough money to support your family? And do you have to go to school for what it is that you do? Or is there any advanced degree or certifications you need to have? So it really helped give people I think a broader idea about for all of the careers that were there. I should have brought my cat. I say that facetiously, but there were, it was either like an animal training center or clinic or something like that. And they had some dogs there. And of course, animals, I'm sure, are always like big, a big draw type thing. We had a young guy there who is a professional baseball player in the minors, and his name was Jared, and it was great to meet him and talk to him a little bit about his career path and what he's doing and what he plans on doing after baseball and such. So that was exciting. But I wanted to do it because it's an opportunity for me just to spread the message a little more about what coaching is, but also about what it's like to pivot in your career and to go ahead and open up a business for yourself. And that was a big part of the reason as to, why I wanted to do it. And I'm very thankful that I got to meet over 60 kids today to talk about what it's like for coaching. And it ties in so well with this theme for the week, which has been about putting your career in the fast lane. So remember that the left lane is for passing, okay? You get on any highway. If you are in the left lane, the intent is that you are passing other cars. And I was driving back from a tournament this weekend, and I had gotten over the George Washington Bridge. I had just gotten into New Jersey. It was Sunday morning, probably around 10:30 a.m. and there are two guys in the left-hand lane doing 50 miles an hour on the New Jersey Turnpike. And if you get frustrated with that, you can understand my pain and feel that a little bit. But it's a little unnerving when you are in the fast lane and someone in front of you is intentionally going slow. And I flashed my lights at him. He never moved. I tooted the horn a couple times. He never moved. And then I'm watching all these cars end up passing me on the right. And it's getting a little bit scary in that regard. So I then made a decision that I was just going to go ahead and pass on the right. So I moved into the middle lane. I moved into the far right lane. And as I was passing a minivan in the middle lane, the driver went to reach for something and the car swerved and almost hit me. And so I ended up swerving into the shoulder, and I blew the horn, and I scared the heck out of her and scared the heck out of me and everything. And that doesn't happen if you are using the left lane for passing. So, yep, I made a decision to pass on the right. Not a great move, but I didn't know anything else to do at that point. And as I was, driving along, I was just thinking, like, why is the left-hand lane for passing? And the left-hand lane is because you're going faster than everybody else. You are moving at a clip that is designed to be 10 miles an hour over the speed limit. We're not going to go 50 miles an hour over the speed limit, but we're going 10 miles an hour over the speed limit, maybe 15, and we're passing cars that are slower than us. And then the intent is we're supposed to move into the other lane and let other people pass if we want. So keep that in mind, because there is an analogy or a synonym, if you will, that in our career path, it's very much like driving on the highway. There are times in our career where we are accelerating. We are on that path for promotion. We are on that path for advancement. We want the new responsibilities. We want the bigger raise. We're going to be in the left-hand lane. There are times when we need to be in the right lane, where maybe we're just getting acclimated to a new job, or we are kind of hanging out because we need a little bit more work-life balance and we're not gunning for that promotion, and we're okay just kind of hanging out in the right-hand lane, and there's nothing wrong with that. And sometimes we may be back and forth in the middle lane. Maybe we're okay hanging out in the middle lane, going a little bit faster than the right-hand lane, but we're not really ready to play full out in the left lane. Where are you at in your career? Where are you in terms of what lane on that career highway you're sitting in right now? And why is that important for you? And so what I wanted to say today was that we need to honor our intentions in our career path. When we honor our intentions, what we do is we get very clear and very specific about what we are doing in our career. If you want a promotion, or if you believe you are ready for advancement, how are your actions, how are your intentions supporting that you are ready? I can tell you there's been so many times in my career, and maybe you've experienced this as well, where somebody comes to you and they go, well, I'm ready for a promotion. What makes you think you're ready? Well, I've had enough time on the job. That does not guarantee, nor does it make you entitled to having a promotion because you've put time in. It doesn't. What is about the work that you've done, the quality of the work? Have you done work at that advanced level to move you forward? If you've done that, then it's a different conversation. But if your intention is, I put in the time, I should be promoted, no, you shouldn't. That's something we got to think about very clearly about your intentions and how well you are honoring them. And in that, it is also about honoring the process. So you may want to get promoted, and you may want to be promoted, say, the year after you've already been promoted. But your organization has a rule or a norm, if you will, that you typically have to spend a minimum of 2 to 4 years in a job before you get promoted. And they have reasons behind it in terms of skill sets and things that you have to demonstrate in order to be ready. They are in place for a reason. You don't start out at a junior level and get promoted every year, and then by the time you're 28 or 29, you're running some big organization. It doesn't happen that way, right? So there is a process that you need to be aware of in your organization, and then and only then is it up to you to determine whether or not that process fits for you. It can be a pretty frustrating conversation when you're told you just need more time. To me, that's not a good answer. I'll put in the time, you tell me what I need to work on. Let's get really clear and agree as far as what are the things I need to work on in order for me to advance. Then when you're hanging out in the left lane, you know exactly how to move your career forward because you're in that path. But if you're in that lane and you think you're moving on for advancement, but it doesn't align with what your organization has dictated or the feedback you've gotten, yeah, you're going to get stuck behind somebody going 50 miles an hour and then have to move in some way. So think about that in terms of the process. And the way that you do that is you get really, really curious. If you've been following me for a while, you know that when we talk about how we show up energetically and professionally, the H stands for having intentional conversations. Here is a great opportunity for you to get curious and have an intentional conversation about exactly what it is that you need in order to move you forward. If you are on a path for advancement, what exactly do you need to do? And when you are told what it is you need to do, you need to make sure that you clearly understand what that looks like and how it's defined. If you're told that you need to improve your client relationships and build better business relationships with your clients, that's pretty vague. Let's get really specific about what client management looks like or what interacting with a client looks like, so there is no doubt or question as to the feedback you've been given and how well you execute on it. Without getting curious and having that intentional conversation, it's really hard to understand what path you're in. And then lastly, it goes back to, how do you want to show up? In my work with my clients and in the presentations I give to different organizations, when we talk about showing up, it stands for setting ground rules, having intentional conversations, owning where you are at, welcoming new opportunities, using your genius, protecting and promoting your brand. When you do all 6 of those things to show up energetically and professionally in the workplace, to make the impact you know you can make, then why wouldn't you want to hang out in the left lane? Why wouldn't you want to accelerate your career in a way that has you on the path for creating your next advancement opportunity? But if you are not doing those things, or if you're not doing them fully, you can't expect the results that come with it. You can't expect that you're going to get promoted if you're only doing a 50% type job. You just can't. You know, the expectations aren't realistic. Look, I bought 1 bag of Halloween candy at 50% off, and I ate it practically the entire way home in the car. I did not get on the scale the next day because I knew I wasn't going to lose weight. I'd be fooling myself if I thought otherwise, right? It's those kind of things, right? Don't lie to yourself, period. But sometimes we lie to ourselves first. And when we do that, we're not painting a really clear picture of exactly where we are and owning where we're at as to how we show up energetically and professionally. So it's really, really important that we do this. Okay. All right. Hey, Katie, thanks so much for chiming in. I appreciate it. You said, I love this analogy. Let's see if I can bring this up. Let's see. Can we put you up here? Hey, there we go. Awesome. So Katie, thanks. I love this analogy. I had 2 interviews this week, so I'd say I'm in the left lane, even though neither are promotional, but both are for positions with better career ladders, which will bring more promotional opportunities down the road. Katie, so that's great. Absolutely. Sometimes we interview for those positions because we see them as a way for us to advance. And when we see that as a way for us to advance, it may be a lateral, and that's okay. What I always say whenever I hear people going for interviews is that I hope you get to choose. And notice I didn't say I hope you get the job. And I say that for this reason. When you get to choose, that means you've already been selected as the candidate, and you get to finally decide whether or not that job in that organization fits and aligns with your values and what you want to do for your career. And if those things are in alignment, then yeah, why wouldn't you accept the job? But if they're not, never forget that you've got the power to either go back and talk about things or renegotiate, or even just simply say, I'm sorry, it's not the right fit. But that's why I always say in interviews, I hope you get to choose. So keep me posted, and I hope you get to choose whether or not you take the job. All right. So thanks so much for posting that. Thank you. All right. And I appreciate you posting a comment, because in this new stream here, I can't even see like how many people are joining live or who's here or in the comments and things. So I need to figure this out a little bit, but albeit we'll, new technology, and we'll figure it all out. It's all good. So look, as we wrap up, so much of the work that I get to do with my clients is all about helping them figure out whether or not they want to drive in the fast lane toward creating that next advancement opportunity. And so if you are interested in learning more about what I do as a career transition coach and how I can help you transform your career from where you're currently at to where you want to be, drop me an email. And you can just email me there at john@johnnerrell.com. And I appreciate that. And I'm happy to answer any questions that you have. So in the meantime, thanks so much for joining. If you like today's video, please make sure you click the like button, subscribe to get new notifications. And I will not see you next week, actually. I am taking the week off. And I get to throw a bowling ball next week, so I'm pretty excited about that. So stay updated on my Facebook page at John Nerrell Coaching LLC. I'll be hopping on a little bit here and there to give you some updates about my adventures next week. But I will see you the following week. I'll be back here on Wednesday, November 20th at 1 p.m. with another show. So thanks so much. Have a great rest of the day, and give some serious thought to which lane on the career highway you want to travel. Take care. Have a great day. Thanks. Bye-bye.